tree looking for a coon, and then you get the dog, shoot the coon, get the dogs off, and then you're like, oh, great. Which way did I come in?
I guess.
I carry a compass all the time. I mean, I'm never, now, Onyx is unbelievable.
If you have cell phone service. We're on live on YouTube right now. YouTube, good morning. Welcome to the pre-show before we get onto the radio stations. Let's see here. I have, let's see, 7:20 here. So we'll do a countdown as we get closer. But yeah, old school compass, baby.
That's right.
Coming down to the wild game feed in Baker, Montana, November 13th.
Well, how many raccoons do you want? I have supplied a lot of game feeds with raccoons. Let me tell you that. A lot of people have said, hey, can I get a couple raccoons? I'm like, yeah, if you go hunting with me, you can have all of them. I'll clean them for you and gut them.
Oh, man. Morning, Chuck Hansen, Piers, South Dakota's ready. Good morning, Chuck. Good to have you with me. That's up to that Jake Wagner. Karen in Mobridge. She sent me, instead of a thumbs up that she's ready, she sent me a ghost. She's ready to go, KOLY. But yeah, no, the game feed, it's pretty cool down there. They give over 100 guns away, and I think every kid that shows up goes away with something. It's pretty impressive. And what I really like about it is 100% of the money gets donated right back to the local area communities. Fire departments, churches, all sorts of things like that.
That's the good thing about those things. They keep it local and they help out the local people that need it.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I've gone away from being involved in a lot of these groups that raise money for anything, is because half of it went back, or a good portion of it went back to the national side of things, and they didn't do a squat to help out the local community. So except for the fundraiser I'm doing myself for a local gal who went to the Indian National Finals Rodeo, trying to help. I'm doing a gun raffle, helping defer her expenses here. So
nice.
Talk about that a little bit. Got the tickets finally all printed up and organized.
When are you going to have that raffle?
It is going on now, and it's $100 a ticket. We're only selling 100 tickets, and it's a redraw. So if you get drawn for a gun, your name gets put back in, and you have a chance of winning every damn thing on here. And as soon as the 100 tickets are sold, boom, it is going to be drawn.
That sounds like a good deal for her, that's for sure.
Yep.
When is the Indian National Finals?
It was last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How did she do?
She had some tough luck. She didn't do great, but she made a couple placings here and there, but she didn't come away with it with any championships or anything. But she just started going after the rodeo thing here this year. She gave up being an insurance salesperson and said, to heck with it, I'm going to rodeo full time. So for her first year full time, pretty impressive. She was sitting 4th in the breakaway and like 10th or 11th in the barrel racing. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Her horse did not care for the indoor arena.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you don't have access to one to practice in, it can be a shocker for those horses. Yeah. I know that.
Yeah, her first run around the first barrel, the horse kind of lost its shit with the banners and people screaming and hollering and what have you.
Yeah, yeah. Back to that game feed, the best thing about having raccoons at a game feed is when people don't know it's a raccoon, when you can tell them, why don't you have another front leg off that goose? And they grab one, and then they realize that geese don't have front legs.
Oh, good grief. Does it taste like goose?
It does. I always tell people, of course, the best way is to roast a raccoon. That's the way I love them. But also pressure cook them and then make like barbecued beef. But you got to boil the raccoon first to get the grease off of it. And then it's really good meat.
Yeah, I guess I've
But
never had good raccoon. I've had raccoon, but not good raccoon. Stations, 60-second mark. 60 seconds coming up on mark. 60 seconds. Oh. You know, hunting's probably a good thing to rehab your hip. You're probably doing more exercise going out coon hunting than a lot of people do.
Well, the longest I've walked since I broke my pelvis was 7 miles. I walked one night, and I didn't know if I was going to make it back to the pickup. It was tough.
Stations, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right, Marty, I'm going to turn you down here for the last one. We'll get to you here shortly. Stand by. Stations, 20-second check on mark. 20 seconds. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I'm Scott Bachmeyer, your host here for the next hour as we're Halloween. It's a spooky show today, and I'll tell you why here in a little bit. Today's show brought to you by great folks and friends and sponsors all around the area, including Action Motorsports on the Strip in Mandan, North Dakota. If you want to get in on the Polaris Ag Advantage, 10% off any new Sportsman, Ranger, or General, or Razor, if you are an ag producer. It's pretty simple, and it's nice to have folks like that appreciate the agricultural side of things and help you out. It's a Polaris Ag Advantage from Action Motorsports on the Strip in Mandan. Good to have you along here this morning. As you know, a couple things going on around the area. I'm going to get these out of the way before we start the big show here. The Fallon County Wild Game Feed is going to be happening in Baker, Montana. This is November 13th. Now, besides guns, there's grubs, there's games, and my part of this is I'm the auctioneer for the Guaranteed Gun Auction. And I think the first one, they have 13 or 15 ball caps, and if you buy one of those ball caps, you're guaranteed a prize. Just doesn't necessarily mean because you bought the first one, you get to draw out right away. But then they also do what they call a flask auction. And I think it's like 21 or 23 guns. And these are like high dollar stuff. So it's a lot of fun. There's also kinds of raffles. There's auction. There's safari hunts. There's all kinds of great things. And we'll have Jake Wagner on probably next week to give another recap of what's going on that. A lot of hunters feeds going on. Starting next week here, Friday, November 5th, is one in Rame, the Hunter Supper and Fundraiser. They call it the Smoker. And if you've ever been to it, it's a good time. The one in Medora is going on next Friday, the 5th. And I'll be there along with a few other people you might recognize doing the auction for that one as well. Let's get on to today's show. It is the eve. It is what they call gate night, I guess you could call it here before actual Halloween, but I think everybody's going to be celebrating it today and tonight is what I'm guessing here. Marty Beard, the only man I know that not only gets kicked off Facebook, are you officially kicked off a TikTok now too?
Well, I made an appeal, and I did get my rights back to put stuff on TikTok, but I mean, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. And, you know, and I don't put crazy stuff on there. I mean, I see so much stuff on TikTok that blows my mind, and my stuff is mild, and they're just banning me again. But anyway, we got scary stories to talk, and I hope some people can call in with their own scary stories. But I've got some good ones. I've hunted at night for 40 years. And I've had some strange things happen to me in the woods with my hounds.
Okay, so we'll tell the people this. The phone number to call in and share is 888-932-5682. That is toll-free number, and what happens is you're automatically put on hold. I am my own producer, so when you call in, it automatically goes to hold. We'll get to your call, and I hope people do call in with some scary story. It doesn't necessarily have to be about night hunting, does it, Marty? I mean, it can be about...
No, any type of hunting, any hunting or hiking in North Dakota. I want to write a book.
And South Dakota. Don't be just racist against one state. This is the Dakota territory, and I'm still sticking with that. Oh, did we lose you, Marty?
Sure.
There you are. There, you're breaking up on me a little bit, buddy.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what the heck. I think maybe I'm going to be banned from Scott Bachmeyer's show.
I don't know. We'll see how long this goes. We'll see what the rest of the listening audience likes about it here. But let's start with a scary story about night hunting. You said 40 years you've been doing this. Has that been all legal like, or has it been 20 years of illegal?
I only do stuff legally, Scott. Everybody knows that. I mean, I wouldn't risk. I only hunt raccoons, bears, and mountain lions. I don't hunt deer. I don't hunt pheasants anymore. I used to, but so I'm out hunting, 5-6 nights a week with my hounds, training dogs, and I just have had some strange things that I still to this day cannot explain. And my scariest story that I still don't know what happened. I had turned a pack of dogs loose, and they struck a trail, and they were coming up a creek. And this is down in McLean Bottoms, right south of my house. I live a mile and a half from that Bottoms. And we drove around. A good friend of mine, he's a lot younger than me, was with, and we could hear this sound of something hitting a tree with what sounded like a baseball bat or hitting two big rocks together. And I'd never heard anything like that in the woods at night. And I'm like, just trying to figure out what it was. And I said, well, I'm going to go in them woods and find out what it is with my light. And as I would move towards it, it would move away. And my dogs kept coming up the creek. And when they hit that noise, where that, whatever it was, they went berserk. And now these dogs that were on there, they'd been on bear, mountain lions, bobcats. They weren't not afraid of anything. And it was the loudest racket you've ever heard, and then deadly silence. Except for the noise, whatever that was. And it was big, and it was moving through the woods. And so my two oldest dogs went back to the pickup and hid under the pickup. And like I said, they would go toe-to-toe with the bear. These dogs had been on a lot of, and hid under the pickup. And like I said, they would go toe-to-toe with the bear. These dogs had been on a lot of stuff. And then the two younger dogs were still out there. I could track them with my tracker. And one was laying down on its back with its paws in the air, and I thought that dog was dead, but no, it was just turned over and laying there with its eyes moving back and forth. And the other one was a little further away, and she would watch that noise, where the noise was coming from, and then she'd look at me, and then she'd look back. And I took those dogs back to the pickup, and that, whatever it was, followed us back to the truck. And I went back out there. Of course, the kid said, I'm not going back. And I'm like, well, stay here. I got the gun. So we went back, and it would just stay out of light range of us. The next day, I got done shoeing horses and saddled up a mule and rode back down in those bottoms to find out if I could find a track. And when I got to that spot, now this mule had packed out bear, mountain lions. He was used to everything. He started snorting just and wanted to run off and buck and went berserk at that spot. And I never found any tracks. And to this day, I have no idea what that was.
Every single listener listening to this story is waiting for you to say it.
Bigfoot?
Sasquatch, yeah.
Well, it could be, but I didn't see any tracks, and I'm not one to start rumors about Sasquatch. Do I believe in him? Well, probably, because how many people have seen him? How much lore is it in the Indian lore of even in North Dakota, South Dakota? He's been spotted on Standing Rock, Fort Berthold, and if you go further south, there's a lot of lore. And out west, the Yakima tribe, they all have names for him before white man came and into this country. So Teddy Roosevelt, look up Teddy Roosevelt Bigfoot story. So make up your own mind.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Make up your mind. And we'll have a little talk about this. I never ever have done a Sasquatch show ever in my life, but I watch a little bit of TV once in a while when somebody thinks that they're on the trail of a Sasquatch. But we're up against our first break here, Marty. So get ready to answer some questions because I have some for you. Right? Marty Beard is my guest here this morning on Dakota Prairie Outdoors on the Saturday edition, right here, right now, all across the Dakota Territory, and great radio stations like KGFX in Pierre, South Dakota, KOLY in Mobridge, South Dakota, K-Fire 550 in Bismarck, Mandan, KCJB in Minot, and the Voice of the West, KLTC in Dickinson. I'm Scott Bachmeyer. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues right after these messages. Next.
When it comes to picking the right financial institution that best suits your unique banking needs, we invite you to come bank with Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Recently named North Dakota's best small bank and Newsweek's America's Best Banks in 2021, we believe that community banking can blend both the past with down-home customer service and the future with modern banking conveniences and technology for our online and mobile customers, all while honoring our long-standing tradition of community-first oriented banking. Here at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
The North Dakota Stockman's Foundation will host a night of fun-filled Western elegance at the Stockman's Ball, December 11th in Bismarck. Come enjoy prime rib, auctions, entertainment, and dancing to live music. Build a legacy for the state's cattle industry through the foundation, which provides scholarships, disaster relief, research support, and more. It's a good time and for a good cause. For tickets, call 223-2522. That's the Stockman's Ball, December 11th in Bismarck.
Hi, this is Andy Maroc with Pfeiffer's Auctioneers hosting these farm, retirement, and estate auctions in Kenmare, Turtle Lake, Steele, and Bowman, North Dakota, Cavour and Worthing, South Dakota, and Pfeiffer's quarterly Upper Midwest online-only auctions and regional auctions. Pfeiffer's upcoming auctions feature grain trucks and trailers, John Deere four-wheel drive and R-Series tractors, harvest equipment and hay equipment featuring a 2018 McDonough 1170 Swather. Full inventory details and online bidding is available at Pfeiffer's.com.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
As an independent insurance agency, Dakota Community Insurance partners with leading insurance companies to offer products that are designed around you and your farm insurance needs. As a leader in farm and ranch insurance, we can help you to minimize the risk to you and your operation, including farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. Stop into your local branch to visit with our insurance agent or visit DakotaCommunityBank.com. You can rely on us when nature strikes. Dakota Community Insurance.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Hi, this is Andy Maroc with Piper's Auctioneers hosting these farm, retirement, and estate auctions in Kenmare, Turtle Lake, Steele, and Bowman, North Dakota, Cavor and Worthing, South Dakota, and Piper's quarterly Upper Midwest online-only auctions and regional auctions. Piper's upcoming auctions feature grain trucks and trailers, John Deere four-wheel drive and R-Series tractors, harvest equipment and hay equipment featuring a 2018 McDonough 1170 Swather. Full inventory details and online bidding is available at pifers.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. The Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues this morning on Hallows Eve. Here, happy Halloween going out to you. Marty Beard is my guest here, the only man I know that has a TikTok. You know what? I just kind of been going on TikTok. This is the first time I think I've been convinced. I got a buddy. His name is Joe Miller, and he said, "Scott, you got to get on this thing." So I am. So now I'm going to make it my point to follow somebody. You're going to be the first person, Marty, that I'm going to follow.
Well, I'll tell you what, I hope I don't disappoint you. My pet weasel TikToks are going good. Everybody wants to know what happened finally with my pet weasel.
Well, there you go.
But hey, we got to get another.
Hold on. Before we do that, I have to tell
show.
people it is my show. I've been telling people that I'm going to have tickets made. I'm trying to defer the expense of one of our local gals, Shasta Blodgett. And not only she's local to the entire upper Midwest because she made the Indian National Finals rodeo. And I put together a gun raffle to do this. And I don't like selling a lot of tickets, Marty. I like selling a limited number. So I have 100 tickets. The first 100 tickets that are sold, we're going to have the drawing. And there's 5 different things you can win. The 5th place, and it's going to be a redraw. So if you're drawn out and you win something, say you get 5th place, your name gets put back in. So you have the chance of winning every darn gun on here. But first off, 5th place is a custom-made lead rope and halter made by, it should say Joe's Paracord Creations on the ticket, but a good gal out of New England here. 4th place is a Heritage 22 and 888 rounds of ammunition. That was donated by Jesse Flath out of Western Frontier Insurance. And then 3rd place is kind of a collector antique collection bundle. We have 2 Stevens 44s, 2 Stevens 32s, a 25, and a 22. All of that goes to one person. 2nd place is a Smith & Wesson M&P 9mm. That was donated by Scott Radnick over here by Amadon. And the 1st place is a Ruger Vaquero 45 Colt stainless steel revolver donated by yours truly here. So if you want tickets, it's pretty simple. Find me or text me, 701-425-6651. Find me on social media. And we'll just figure out. I don't take Venmo. I don't do all that on the line stuff. So we'll figure out a payment plan. But they're $100 a piece, 100 tickets, and that's what we're going to be doing. So there you go, Marty. Waiting for you to say that you want like 6 or 7 of those tickets would be nice. Increase the odds of winning once.
Gee, let's just go. I'll take them all. I guess if I'm going to go 6 or 7, I might as well go all in.
I agree. I'm looking for that one donor that says, you know what, I'd love to support local rodeo around the areas of North and South Dakota, and we had we have some pretty good rodeo talent around this area. We really do.
Well, if you would put a donated by Scott Bachmeyer on that Vaquero, that would be a collector item then.
It is. It is.
Oh, yeah, I know it
donated by Scott Bachmeyer.
Well, put it on there, have it engraved.
Oh, no.
Beautiful engraving.
I doubt that.
Some scroll work.
Yeah. I'll go out to the shop and grab my stamps, my metal stamps, and stamp it in there for you. If you win it, I'll stamp it for you. All right. Well, we have 7 minutes before our next break, or 6 minutes, I guess you could say. So, we're talking before we went into the break about maybe a Sasquatch. Everybody's thinking it in the back of their head. And my big thing is as many hunters as there is out there around the entire nation and around the world. Why don't you find one? Why isn't there an actual body, an actual somebody, something? There's nothing. Everybody just sees things, but that's it.
Well, that is a great question. But my question, and I'll answer the first one in a minute, but the other one, what about game cameras? Why aren't people getting these on game cameras? You know, when you see some game camera footage, you know, people are putting up there, and you can tell it's fake, you know?
Yeah.
And but the other reason is, as much as we've been in the woods, how often do we find a dead mountain lion or a dead bear or even a dead coyote? I mean,
True.
for as many coyotes are out there, you just do not find these big predators. I don't know where they go.
Now, to be fair, on the game camera side of things, so I know that there is a game camera north of the ranch that there was video and photos and footprints on a game camera. I guarantee it, because I bought a suit on Amazon and I went in front of it because I didn't know whose it was. And I spent a little time doing some jumping jacks in front of it. So nobody ever called. I never seen it online or anything. Nobody even talked about it. Kind of took the whole excitement out of it. I thought for sure it would make some type of story somewhere.
Well, it sure should have. You know, maybe the guy was so petrified, or he saw you doing jumping jacks with the suit on. He just, yeah. You know, another time I was hunting, and I heard these loud screams I can't explain. My dogs had treed a coon, and I was walking back along the railroad grade, and right below us, I heard this loud scream. The only thing I can explain it, and it sounds weird, but is a demon scream. And another good friend was with me, and we heard this loud. It was, "Rah!" And it was so loud. I turned my dogs. My dogs actually wanted to go down there, and they actually turned and started walking back up the hill, the steep railroad grade, backwards. And I turned to my friend. I said, "Hey, do you get that 22 loaded?" And he was already running down the railroad tracks away.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Huh?
And yeah, the ranch I was hunting on, she drives school bus, good friend of mine. She heard that same noise. She asked me. I didn't say anything to him. And I was out there shoeing some horses for him a couple days later. And she said, "Have you heard any weird screams in the woods at night?" Because they know I hunt there night after night. And I'm like, as a matter of fact, I have. So that was a second witness, or actually a third, that heard this. And, you know, like I said, we didn't see anything. I've never seen any Sasquatch or anything like that. I've never seen a track, but I've had a couple weird things like that happen to me, and that was kind of scary. You know, and once this happens, Scott, it's a little tough to go back into the woods by yourself. I mean, I've had to force myself. Now I just don't bother me. But yeah, it was tough for a while to hunt in them spots by myself after that.
Yeah. So the only thing I can say close to what I hear strange sounds, I was bow hunting one time, and I was listening just nice and quiet, you know, just pretty soon I heard some kind of a wheezing snoring sound, and it was Jesse Flath that was trying to hunt on the other side of the draw. Kind of a Sasquatch type of thing, you know,
Yeah.
something the same, but you know,
Big and scary.
big and scary, and make some noises once in a while you're not expecting, but there you go. I know he's listening on the radio right now. I know he's on his way to a gun auction in Bismarck, so that's why I had to stick that in there. We'll see if he comes back with anything. But, you know, as we get closer to the break, hunting at night, you lose sometimes, and we're going to be talking more in depth on this in the second half of the show here, but you do lose your marbles once in a while. When you're out night hunting, it's kind of it's a different game plan altogether, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I have a compass I've carried because I spent a lot of time going the wrong direction back to my pickup. And I have a really good pin-on compass to buy in Minnesota. The guy makes them out of brass, made in USA. That has saved me. Plus, it's very important to know your stars. You got to be able to find the North Star. And I use several different stars if it's cloudy and I can't see, or even people don't know this, but pretty soon the whole Big Dipper turns upside down
Yep.
at the end of the night. and then you've got to reorient yourself to that. But if you have several stars, I'd be glad to tell anybody or take somebody coon hunt, show them those stars that want to go night hunting. That would be great. It'd be good for coyote hunters to know that too.
Well, especially as more of the thermal side of things have been going on. I mean, that's going to become more and more prevalent here in the North and South Dakota side of things. And, maybe we can touch on that a little, some tips and tactics on night hunting, especially if you're new to this side of things. We'll have more of that coming up here. Marty Beard is my guest, the only man I know that has a TikTok on weasels. I guess we're going to have to find him during the break. Find him with me here. More coming up your way on great stations, KGFX and Pierre, KOLY, Mobridge, and KFYR, Bismarck, KCJB and Minot, and KLTC in Dickinson, all across the Dakota Territory. And you're probably watching as well. Quite a few people right now on my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. We'll have more coming up your way right after these messages. Night hunting talk.
When it comes to picking the right financial institution that best suits your unique banking needs, we invite you to come bank with Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks in 2021, we believe that community banking can blend both the past with down-home customer service and the future with modern banking conveniences and technology for our online and mobile customers, all while honoring our long-standing tradition of community-first oriented banking. Here at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
The North Dakota Stockmen's Foundation will host a night of fun-filled Western elegance at the Stockmen's Ball, December 11th in Bismarck. Come enjoy prime rib, auctions, entertainment, and dancing to live music. Build a legacy for the state's cattle industry through the foundation, which provides scholarships, disaster relief, research support, and more. It's a good time and for a good cause. For tickets, call 223-2522. That's the Stockmen's Ball, December 11th in Bismarck.
Hi, this is Andy Maroc with Piper's Auctioneers hosting these farm, retirement, and estate auctions in Kenmare, Turtle Lake, Steele, and Bowman, North Dakota, Cavour and Worthing, South Dakota, and Piper's quarterly Upper Midwest online-only auctions and regional auctions. Piper's upcoming auctions feature grain trucks and trailers, John Deere four-wheel drive and R-Series tractors, harvest equipment and hay equipment featuring a 2018 McDonough 1170 Swather. Full inventory details and online bidding is available at pifers.com.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
As an independent insurance agency, Dakota Community Insurance partners with leading insurance companies to offer products that are designed around you and your farm insurance needs. As a leader in farm and ranch insurance, we can help you to minimize the risk to you and your operation, including farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. Stop into your local branch to visit with our insurance agent or visit DakotaCommunityBank.com. You can rely on us when nature strikes. Dakota Community Insurance.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Hi, this is Andy Maroc with Piper's Auctioneers hosting these farm, retirement, and estate auctions in Kenmare, Turtle Lake, Steele, and Bowman, North Dakota, Cavor and Worthing, South Dakota, and Piper's quarterly Upper Midwest online-only auctions and regional auctions. Piper's upcoming auctions feature grain trucks and trailers, John Deere four-wheel drive and R-Series tractors, harvest equipment and hay equipment featuring a 2018 McDonough 1170 Swather. Full inventory details and online bidding is available at pifers.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors Gate Gate night. And coming up your way here on Dakota Prairie Outdoors again, I'm getting some text messages here. And Russ Hummel, yeah, I'd trade you a round bale for one raffle ticket. You know, that's pretty darn tempting this year, isn't it? We could use hay as kind of a trading tool. Marty Beard's my guest. Marty, are you ready to hear the Sasquatch of Mercer County?
I am.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Let's put him on the air. Are you there, Sasquatch?
Are you now?
That sounds more like Sam Squatch.
Hey, you just mentioned gate night. It is the All Hallows Eve.
Yep.
A little tip out there for everybody. If you happen to know that you got someone coming after your house, going to toilet paper or throw eggs at your house, or some of those other shenanigans that individuals seem to like to do on the night before Halloween, I've been told that if you freeze paintballs in the freezer and lock and load that paintball gun and just be ready in the bushes, boy, when them guys show up, they don't come back again.
Oh, those are good. So, Marty, let me tell you the story. So back in the days when I moved into the Bowman area, I bought an old church and renovated as a gym and lived in the basement. And this thing was spooky. Okay, I mean there was some weird stuff that happened. It was an old Mason's lodge, and I found some of the items underneath. Anyway. So gate night comes around, and these kids think that they're going to do this. So Jesse and I froze paintballs, and we sat on the front step. There was no lights on the building, of course, and we just waited for these kids to come and try to throw eggs or toilet paper or steal trash cans or anything like that. And let me tell you, they did not come back. And the next day or two, you could still tell who it was because these things would leave welts. And I thought it was good fun. It was good fun.
That was my first night hunting experience.
Yeah, it was night hunting. That's true. Now we're going to get in trouble. Somebody's going to do this and like take an eyeball out of some kid and, we're going to get sued or something.
Just do the disclaimer.
Hey, sometimes you got to roll the dice.
Yeah, just put a disclaimer out there. We do not recommend, and then you're safe. You just kind of cover your bases.
Yeah, I know.
But we will show you how to do it.
Yeah. We'll do a TikTok video and you can watch it from there.
Yeah. Yes.
If you want, Jesse, you need to do this on TikTok. You got to go to They Are Treed. That's Marty's handle on TikTok and watch his videos. It's pretty cool.
I know. I was on TikTok for a while and I wasted so dang much time. I got back off there, but now you're kind of talking me back into it again. I think guys just got to be selective with that dang online stuff.
It's the same thing with any social media. You got to be selective.
Yep.
So night hunting, and this is something, Jesse got into it a little bit before I did. I know he hunts with, what's the guy, Danny? Is that the guy's name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Danny does a lot of it.
It's amazing how a guy can get turned around night hunting. Last year was kind of my first year of actually getting into it a little bit with thermal because I had to save up a little bit of money to buy that thermal. But when a person does it and you get around there, you think you know your ranch pretty well until you get out into the pines. And I got turned around. My 2-hour hunt took me about 6 hours to find my way back.
Yeah, now you know how I feel in the daylight because I get turned around during the day out there.
That is true. One night I turned the dogs loose on a creek, and there was a railroad the railroad tracks run through there. And I had my mules in the back of my pickup in my stock rack. And a friend of mine, Niles, was with, and we were so tired that we were waiting for those dogs. It was probably 4 a.m, and we parked along a hill or a curve in that railroad, and we both fell asleep waiting for the dogs. And when we woke up, the train was blaring its whistle because it could see us, and the train looked like it was coming directly at us. And I thought I was parked on the railroad tracks. You know, when I woke up, I started screaming, and I started that old Dodge pickup. It was hard to start, and I took off driving, and I realized then I was driving towards the train, and my friend Niles had jumped out because he thought we were going to be hit. And so I was almost dragging him, and I stopped the pickup, and our hearts were about pounding. And I think the mule's eyes were so big, and we started driving a little further, and he goes, "Something's dragging." Here his coon hunting light had fallen off, and it was still on his belt, but the light was dragging on the road. He was still so scared that, oh man, you know, there's other things that scare a guy. Getting lost is a big one, you know, and not knowing where you're at.
Yeah. Well, Jesse, have a good time at the auction. Thanks for calling in. Too bad you don't have spooky stories. You're just outing me and paintballing some kids in the 90s.
The only spooky story I have, it wasn't hunting. It all had to do with that Masonic temple you lived in. There were a few spooky stories with that place.
Yeah, there were some strange things that happened. There's no doubt about it.
I'm not a big haunted house guy or ghost guy, but that building definitely has some sort of situation going on in it. You guys have a good day.
All right. Thanks for the call. 888-932-5682. Toll-free call. Feel free to call on in. So some tips and tactics here when a guy thinks you want to get into night hunting. A lot of people buying thermals now, and it's just not too far away right after deer season, the official start for the North Dakota side. South Dakota, you can do it anytime. And so what do you think here? What are some of the basics a person needs when you think you're going to go out and do some night hunting, Marty?
Well, I think definitely a compass, a good high quality pin on compass, and learn how to use it. You know, a lot of people just, you know, they go, well, I'll be able to find my way back with that. But that compass is a little bit, you know, it's a simple instrument, but it's a little bit more complicated than, well, if I go south, I have to turn around and go north. But when you start leering into a different direction, it's good to use a light you can see, a far off light, and keep your orientation with that compass. But I think Onyx and these hunting apps and stuff like that, if you have service and you can download maps, that's what I do if I don't have service. But it's amazing.
That's the biggest thing. And in some areas you don't have that cell service all the time, but for the most part, it's getting better. I mean, you can get on top of a hill, and even in my area, it depends on your service provider, I guess. There's a lot of towers that have been going up. It isn't as dark at night out here anymore, Marty. Seems like everybody's wanting to get another cell tower put up somewhere. Now you can get a hold of people.
That's right.
Not everybody wants
that Masonic temple / church or whatever you had, that intrigues me. Is it still standing?
It is still standing, yes.
You know, one night my dogs trailed into a guy's place. It was an abandoned farmyard, and the house was really dilapidated and run down, and there were several holes in it, and we could actually see a coon on the roof. So we went in, and everything was still there. And it's just like that people left, except there was about a ½ inch of dust. And those coon were down in the basement, and we went down there, and it was the freak. I still have pictures of this. There were dolls set up like they were staring at you, and then the walls had red paint handprints all over them. And this house was full of antiques. And, you know, that people ransack these old places and steal stuff from them. And this place was just like the people left. And, you know, I show people those pictures and they still don't believe them. And I mean, we had my daughter and son-in-law were with, and we had the strangest vibe down there. We got one coon out of there, and there was probably 20 running around in there. We got the one coon, and we just left because there was something like Jesse said, there was just something strange there. And I'm like, yeah, I want no part of this.
Did you ever get yourself in where you're fighting your mind to get back into a same area that you might have heard something or anything like that?
Oh,
Have you ever gotten remember when you were kids and it's like you don't want to put your foot outside of the bed because there might be something under your bed to grab it, type thing. That excitement like that, you get that as a kid. Do you still get that as an adult?
yeah. The scare, probably the scaredest I ever talked myself into being. I got this feeling that somebody was there, and I've had many encounters with people in the woods at night. I hunt a lot of public land, and just strange people pulling up to me or just coming up upon people in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the woods. And I've also dealt with some meth cookers out there.
Oh, really?
But I had this just strange feeling something was right by me, and I didn't hear anything, but it was just this presence, and I took off running. And the faster I ran, the scareder I got. And by the time I got back to my pickup, I mean, I was like, I don't know what you call it, where you can't, I had basically the wind knocked out of me from running, but I didn't fall down or anything, but I just could not catch my breath. And I was just like, what did I just do to myself? That brain plays some really strange things with you at night.
So you're telling me you're out coon hunting, got your dogs out there, you're listening, you're trying to find and get on some scent, and you run across meth labs? Really?
Yeah, I ran across down in Kimball Bottoms. And Kimball Bottoms is kind of a scary place. There's been several suicides down there. There's 2 missing men. I think they did find the remains from, I think in the 1970s. There were 2 young men that disappeared down in there. And I know a lot of these old stories from McLean Bottom because, and Kimball Bottoms, because I kind of grew up down in them bottoms with my Uncle Leslie and Aunt Gladys. I stayed with them. They lived down in the bottoms. I have all their stories. But yeah, I was riding my mule and I rode up to a van. I like to BS with people, and they were cooking dope there. And that was during the summer. I didn't even have a gun with me. I couldn't even protect myself. And they started and I took off with my mule and I run back to the pickup. That was when cell phones were in the bag, way back then. And I called 911, but they did escape through all the little roads and stuff. They never did find them, but found the lab or whatever they had going there. Yep.
They never invited you in for a cup of coffee or nothing, huh?
No. I never did get invited into their little, oh man. Yeah.
You'd think about there is a lot of public land in North and South Dakota. I mean, that's just there's a lot of Forest Service BLM land all across the area, but that's one thing I'm fortunate I have not found any of that just yet anyway. I'm sure the time will come eventually when, the urban areas are moving into the more rural areas more and more and more. You know how that goes, especially during this COVID farce thing going on.
Yeah,
so,
you betcha.
Give us another story. Give us another story,
another
man.
Haunted, you bet. Another haunted house. I was mountain lion hunting in Montana, and a good friend of mine said, "Oh, I have this place where my hunters stay. You guys can stay there. We don't have any elk hunters then." So we stayed there, and his guides started telling us, "Well, that house is haunted. That we hear all kinds of strange noises in there." And I was just like, oh, okay. And he goes, yeah, the son shot his mom and dad in that house.
Oh, geez.
And he's now in a mental hospital. But I was so tired from walking all day. I didn't have any weird experiences, but they would come home and the dishes would be done. And the dirty dishes they left in the sink would be in the rack drying. The only thing weird that happened to us, my good friend left his hunting boots on the register of the house, and I don't know what kind of heater that they had in that thing, but it was like 900 degrees because his boots actually came apart and he was bootless. He had to basically redo his boots with duct tape to finish out hunting for the last couple days.
Oh,
but
man.
yeah, that was scary. The stories they told didn't happen to me there. I didn't have any, but I think I was too tired to wake up if there were any noises.
But you said that the dirty dishes got done by the time you got back.
That I didn't leave any dirty dishes there. That was what his guides told me.
Oh,
they
his
told
guides.
me many stories. Yeah, they
Oh.
would hear strange noises in that house, and then they would go down, small Montana bar. They would go down to the bar and have a little bit of a nip and come back, and the dishes would be done.
Maybe
And
maybe they just got so drunk they forgot they did them.
no. Well, I'm sure that happened, but but the dish part, no. These hillbillies would have left him in the sink for another 2 weeks and just ate off 30 dishes. Believe me.
That's the kind of spook spirit I need in my house, is somebody that comes in and does the dishes. Good grief. Wouldn't that would be the ultimate spook, to have a spirit in your house, man. I tell you. So, how many are your dogs trained to go after mountain lion?
Yep, I hunt. I've been hunting this strain of dogs. I've been breeding tree and walkers in my own strain for close to. I have probably 5 or 6 generations of dogs now. I'm kind of switching over to American leopard hounds, but I've hunted bear, mountain lions, and bobcats, and mainly coon. I live in North Dakota, so it's mainly raccoon.
Yeah. What's the market on raccoons doing right now? I don't think it's going to be. It hasn't been good in many years, has it?
No. And, I'm going to hunt them. I don't care if they're, I remember certain times when the fur market was so low and they're 25 cents, but I'm going to hunt them, and I'm going to put up fur, and I've told you this before. Fur hunters are their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
We expect all these other countries, Greece, Russia, China, to buy our fur, but our own wives don't wear coats when they're easy to have made. Right here in the United States, there's several good furriers that make inexpensive coats. I've had 7 or 8 coats made, bedspreads made, and we need to use our own fur.
Yeah. Oh man, nothing feels warmer than putting on a coyote jacket. I'll tell you that. They're unbelievable. That and beaver mittens. When I was in Alaska, there's a lot of furriers in Alaska. You go up Main Street of Anchorage, almost every other store, there's a furrier store somewhere up there. They understand the importance of needing warm clothes, and that's one thing that really shocked me. So maybe I should get that. Maybe that's what I need to do on some of my coyotes this year. Try to get my wife a jacket.
Oh, I think it'd be a great idea, and she would really appreciate it. I have a coyote jacket. My girls, right now, they're fighting over who gets that coyote jacket when I die. But I've had beaver, otter, coon, fox. You take North Dakota beaver and have them dyed chocolate brown. We have a red rim beaver, they call it, but their bellies are red. And they downgrade them. And if you have those dyed a beautiful chocolate brown or any color, if your wife white, you can have them dyed hot pink if she wants a hot pink beaver coat. You can have them dyed hunter orange if you want to be the warmest hunter out there. Have a jacket made out of hunter orange dyed beaver.
Very quick before we go, I got a text message that says, "Ask Marty if he's ever eaten mountain lion."
Yeah, I have.
What do you think?
And,
what do you think?
I like it.
I do too.
I'll eat anything. But I can't help but think that I've got a freezer full of beef at home. So am I going to be eating a lot of raccoon at this stage of my game when I raise a big fat steer every year? Nope.
The steer's already done in the freezer. The coon takes a little bit longer. You said you have to boil the grease out of them, and then they taste pretty decent.
Well, I parboil it. You don't boil it a long time. You just boil it till it softens the grease and kind of loosens the meat. And then you put it in an oven on a rack and stuff it with sweet potatoes, apples, put some carrots and potatoes in there with it. Oh my gosh. It is good.
The Breakfast of Champions with Marty Beard. Marty, thank you for coming on to the radio program and giving some spooky stories from, a lot of people are scared to even, especially as adults. Nobody wants to tell anybody that they were scared. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, if you have any scary stories out there, your listeners, call me. I want to put a book together in North Dakota. Call me at 701-400-8384. And I would love to have stories of North Dakota, South Dakota, all your listeners' areas. That would be great for this book.
That would be a great book, wouldn't it? Just different. And then it'd make you think again the next time you gone out there. But hey, we're up against the end of the show, the only live outdoor radio program going on here. Thanks, Wayne, for listening. He says the good program to have you on there. Marty, thank you so much for being here. Have yourself a good weekend.
You too, Scott.
You bet. If you want more information on the tickets for the giveaway, 100 tickets, that's right, the fundraiser for Shasta, find me on social media. A lot of people already have, but I'll make sure to do that. I think we got about 40 tickets left to sell, and we'll have that drawing. Thanks for tuning in today. Make sure you eat some meat, drink some milk, have yourself a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Radio stations, thank you. Have yourself a good day. Marty, thanks again, man. Appreciate you coming on the program.
When are you coming up to go hunting with me?
Oh, boy.